The following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, Deadeye? Before we start the story, I'd like to let y'all know that I've got another channel. It's primarily for D&D and various other gaming-related things, but primarily D&D. Specifically, my Dungeons and Destiny campaign. That's Rollin' Bones, ROLLIN_BONEZ. Go on over there, give the channel some love, help it grow. Let's get to the story, shall we? Welcome, part 7 of What If Deku Was the Punisher. Last time we left you on the edge of the beginning of Momo's time in UA. While she knew for a fact that the certification test she'd be taking was a mere formality, she would be taking it seriously nonetheless. Now, just as Momo was getting ready to leave to take the test, Mommy! All three of her babies cried out as soon as she stepped foot outside. Before Momo's eyes stood a rather large ice sculpture of her holding a Smith & Wesson 686 in one hand and a book in the other. The sculpture has her appearing to be paying more attention to the book, however. There was way too much detail in this to have been done in under her nose, and that made her wonder, so, how in the world did you make this under my nose, Hasashi? Momo had a smile on her face, and was very pleased at her good luck gift. However, she noticed something was in her hand, what appeared to be the very same gun, and the book was now in her hand. Inko spoke up. It's loaded with cryo rounds. Oni-chan helped me make them. Truth be told, she already knew the recipe for the cryo rounds thanks to her husband, but took the book and looked at the recipe for it anyway. They worked so hard on it. Momo gave the children kisses and put the weapon in the box they had included. Thank you, Doc. Mommy's gotta go and take her exam now. Thanks for the luck wish. With that, Momo made her way to Telepad. Her husband had been waiting patiently, goofy grin on his face. You've got this, babe. Don't be nervous. And get ready to knock him dead. Momo said nothing but was happy at that voice of confidence Izuku had given her. He would have nothing to do with either of the exams, truthfully, despite the fact that he would be teaching this year. But not very many people knew that. Basically, it's the All Might surprise. However, it was mostly so nobody had the chance to gripe about favoritism, since two of his family members were taking said recommendation. Neither, however, were recommended by him. Momo got in on, well, through her family connections, and Reina got in through her father, obviously. Speaking of which, she was in a seat next to Momo. Don't worry, Momo. We've got this. The girls put headsets on and wrapped in. Izuku chimes in.
Welcome to Air Todoroki, where fast and safe transportation is our game. We should be in the Academy's airspace in 10 minutes. Please keep your arms and legs inside the VTOL until we have landed on the helipad.
VTOL itself was rather large and comfortable. Big enough to be a means of transportation for the family, especially considering that they didn't live in Tokyo proper. True to Izuku's estimation, they arrived within 10 minutes, but of course they were early to begin with in the first place. Very early. As they made their way to the academy, the helipad was occupied. Who in the world? Reina was curious, but chose to think otherwise. Alright, ladies. Looks like we need to stunt on everyone. I'm taking us up higher, and we're gonna halo jump into the academy. Pad was supposed to be empty, damn it. Girls get dressed in jumpsuits provided by Izuku without shame. He's seen them in a worse state after all, especially Momo. Izuku waited for them to be ready, and once they were, they jumped in tandem. Izuku willed the VTOL back into the vault as they fell with style. A landing area had been secured via a quick chat with Nezu and All Might, and they were on course for it. While Izuku might have been joking with his stunt on everyone comment, they had an audience outside. Oh, not on the designated landing space, of course, but close enough. But an audience, nonetheless. Burners deploy and all three of them finish with tri-point landing. You know, the Iron Man landing, the superhero landing that, according to Deadpool, is
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Izuku in the center, Momo on his right flank, and Rina on his left flank. There may have been applause. Izuku removes his helmet and is met with All Might. Must you show off like that? Toshinori was only half serious. Before Izuku could speak up, Reina did. We wouldn't have needed to land like this if someone hadn't landed on our pad. Who the hell is that anyway? Last I checked, we filled out all the proper paperwork, and that was not an emergency vehicle. I couldn't help but notice the logo for SHIELD, so technically it is an emergency craft, Reina. Government craft and whatnot. Please tell me Fury isn't here scouting. All Might looked a little frazzled. I honestly have no idea, son. Your guess is as good as mine. With a quick glance at his watch, it was made clear that they were over an hour early before the orientation for the exam anyways, so Izuku pulled out a dressing room for the girls, but was dragged in by both. I said dressing room, but it was more like an extravagant pop-up bathhouse, to which Izuku had no choice in using with the girls present. There was a faint knock. Izuku wrecked the voice. Mind if I join you, Izuku? Izuku chuckled a bit. Come on in, Namuri. Momo and Izuku really didn't care. It was just a bath, but Rena looked a little apprehensive. The talk with her mother, and then with Momo still in her mind. She's not Izuku's wife, or girlfriend, or mistress, or anything like that, so. But she did cling closer to Izuku at the sight of the bodacious woman who sat right next to her Oni-chan after, well, getting ready for the bath. Care for a drink, Namuri? She got close, and they enjoyed their rather, albeit light, drink. Izuku isn't involved in either exam, but he's watching them both. You should keep that pop-up available for now, at least. While we do have showers, people would like the option of a bath. Izuku nodded and would later make the area bigger to segregate it into male and female, and left a warning. Voyeurs will be shot on sight, and while it won't be a kill shot, it will hurt. Sincerely hoping you value your junk, the Punisher. After giving a warning that I don't think even Minori Mineta would risk, yeah, he would leave a few surface droids on each side, albeit they are armed, but it's not obvious to the naked eye. But come on, they've got the mark of the Punisher. I do believe it is time for the young Miss Todoroki and I to depart. Okay. I'm coming. Two to get dressed. Izuku does give Namori a quick glance, and that's it. Needless to say, that specific room in the bathhouse was private. Can't exactly encourage the mixed bath in a school now, can he? Come back later to make the place more impressive since students haven't been welcomed quite yet. But the waters in the bathhouse itself were therapeutic, relaxing muscles and joints, as well as helping with the healing process to a point. It would become a popular place for hero course students after that. Now, to take the focus away from Momo, since we know she's gonna ace this, let's go to someone who hasn't had any screen time at all due to the circumstances of this story. For those of you who guessed Katsuki, gold star to you. Katsuki arrived at the end of the halogen. Huh. Well, that's impressive. Katsuki would have accused them of showing off, but looked at the roof and noticed they had nowhere to land. That wasn't bad for an impromptu landing. Katsuki stayed back and watched the three from afar, but could tell who one of them was immediately, and through the process of elimination guessed the other two. There's no mistaking the skull of the Punisher. Katsuki lost curiosity and enters the bathhouse. About faces. Once Katsuki notices there's people in there getting undressed at that. Does, however, stand guard after a few suspicious characters made their way there. Move along, unless you want to meet an explosive end, you perverts. There wasn't much security at the time of Katsuki arriving there. Izuku did at least have a camera of sorts on the outside. You'd have to know the spot, and he would make note of this young one's chivalry. Kid's got gumption. He liked that. I'm sure you're wondering what Katsuki's doing here on the day of the recommendation exam, but don't worry about it. Midnight and Reina exit and give Katsuki a nod of thanks. Knowing what was done due to Izuku. The big guy wants to have a word with you. While I'd love to keep soaking, you seem to be the type that would feel awkward in that situation. Good luck, dear. And remember, he doesn't bite. Hard. Murray couldn't resist teasing. The Punisher wanted to talk to Katsuki. What could he possibly have to say to a no-name like Katsuki in that? Momo, however, was still in the bath with her husband, not caring at all. When Katsuki rolled in. Relax. I'm wearing a bikini. Now get in here. You don't want to make my husband wait. Katsuki was waiting in the bath. Not in it proper. Not deep at all. You know, you can take a dip, man. Come on. Don't be a stranger. After all, I do have words for... Katsuki hesitantly got in the bath. Quickly. But for the most part was... Oddly, Izuku noticed that Katsuki was Katsuki Bakugo. Age 15, quirk, explosion. You're quite the studious one. You're probably wondering why you're here at this point, huh? At this point, we're back at Izuku's point of view. Izuku looked away from his tablet for the first time and looked Katsuki in the eye. I know I can be intimidating, but I'm not gonna play games here. You've proven yourself, Katsuki, and you're here on my recommendation. I've been following you since you're running with the abomination. He underestimated you and paid the price. Your quirk saved your life and many others and allowed All Might and Hulk to take him down in the confusion. I've made it my goal to look after you since, but not just because of that either. You're practically a distant cousin. I'm sure your mother Mitsuki brags about babysitting me. Well, guess what? All true. She and my birth mother were thick as thieves. So go in there and kick some ass. But not too much, okay? Save some of that attention for this one over there. Momo smacked her husband God out with a fake pout. You won't be up for another 30 minutes, so enjoy your bath. Whether you succeed or fail, you'll be training with me, and be warned, I am an absolute taskmaster.
Izuku and Momo leave to, the further dressing area and exit. Katsuki sighs in relief.
Well, that's better. Not one for public bathing.
Now, all three of those focuses passed the recommendation exam. And Bakugo would take a nice little spot as Izuku's protege of sorts for now. I'll explain how Akatsuki without Deku would be like, but not at this point. Let's not get into that at the moment. Katsuki would spend the weekends at the Todoroki State, and by that I mean Izuku's not Enji's, going through various forms of military level training compressed into less than a month. Izuku drops Katsuki off at home.
Hey, Mitsuki. I brought your son back in one shape, as promised. Oh, right. Almost forgot to tell you, Mitsuki. Make sure Katsuki gets some rest. He's a UA student as of next week.
That rang deep in Katsuki's head.
I did it. I'm gonna be in UA, and I'm under the wing of one of the greatest heroes of this generation.
While some would get a big head, that Katsuki knew that Mitsuki wouldn't allow that at all. Mitsuki hugs Katsuki, tries to grab Izuku and say something. Izuku, hold on a minute. About Katsuki. But Izuku's already gone. He had already dropped off the mezzanine and flown off.
Does he always show off like that, baby?
Katsuki smirked while taking off her jacket.
Lesson number 1, Mom. Stunt. On. Everybody.
If you like that, United States has smashed that like button. Let's go full calling on the notification icon. Ring that bell, baby. And of course, don't forget to go plus ultra on the subscribe if you're not. Now rest easy, Deadites. And remember,
The night is ours.